Good evening, you're now with me, Handy Gui for TVS Nightline, and here are the headlines for tonight. AFFIN Bank Berhad's shares rose 2% ahead of the state government's planned acquisition of a majority stake this Friday. Sarawak will be the first in the region to produce electricity from tropical hybrid grass. The Sarawak Premier's office confirmed that Petronas is not pursuing legal action against the Sarawak government or Petronas, while discussions on gas distribution are ongoing. The Sarawak Premier's office confirmed Tuesday that Petronas is not considering legal action against the Sarawak government or Petroleum Sarawak Berhad Petros. In a joint statement following a meeting among the Sarawak government, Petronas and Petros, discussions about gas distribution in Sarawak are ongoing and expected to be concluded soon. The same statement also read that all three parties respect and abide by federal and state laws regarding the matter. The meeting was chaired by Sarawak Premier Datuk Patinggi Tan Sri Abang Johari Tun Opang and attended by Petronas' President Tan Sri Tengku Muhammad Taufik Tengku Aziz, Petros CEO Datuk Janin Giri, and Sarawak State Secretary Datuk Omar Abu Bakar Marzuki. Abang Johari has previously assured that Petronas will remain a strategic partner for the state government through Petros. Sarawak is set to become the first in the region to produce electricity from grass. Premier of Sarawak, Datuk Patinggi Tan Sri Abang Johari Tun Opang said this method utilises tropical hybrid grass as raw material for generating renewable energy. According to the Premier, the grass cultivation project has already been implemented on 800 acres of land in Bintulu.
Sekarang kita boleh tanam rumput untuk electricity. Something which is quite, something which is something new. Daripada rumput, sorry, I have to use Malay language. Tanam rumput means planting grass lah. Not only for buffalo or cattle, which is traditionally that we know by convention, but one is to produce electricity to substitute or replace coal as a biomass. And I want to share, Sarawak is producing that already.
He said this at the opening ceremony of Geo Week 2024 on Tuesday. Meanwhile, Abang Johari stated that Sarawak is also developing sustainable energy through algae for the production of sustainable aviation fuel, SAF. Additionally, the Premier emphasized the importance of using data and digital technology to streamline administrative tasks and measure the economic value of land.
If they don't have the title, they can apply through digital application online, and the director will give the title, we give them a target of 1 day. They apply in the morning, evening they got the title. And this is the way we manage our land administration. Second is the quality of the land. Land is land, but there is a subsoil. You have to have the various layers of your land. Whether it's, is suitable for paddy, whether it is suitable for vegetable, whether it's suitable for kelapa, coconut, and so forth. And this can be done through satellite information. And there is a technology now that you get the image layer by layer.
With these advancements, he is optimistic that the people's standard of living can be significantly improved, helping them to overcome poverty through efficient land management. A total of 78 contingents with over 3,100 participants will take part in a grand parade on October 12 in celebration of the 78th birthday of Sarawak Governor Tun Pehin Sri Dr. Wan Junaidi Tuanku Jaafar. Sarawak's Minister of Tourism, Creative Industry and Performing Arts, Dr. Sri Abdul Karim Rahman Hamzah, announced that the parade is the main highlight among 7 events scheduled to celebrate the occasion, which will take place from October 10th to 13th. Meanwhile, the State Honours Award ceremony will be held the same day following the parade.
Acara utama adalah pada 12 hari bulan, di mana akan diadakan di sana sentral parade yang melibatkan 78 kontingen sempena hari kelahiran ke-78, dan pada hari yang sama selepas parade akan diadakan majlis penyampaian pingat-pingat di Istana Negeri dan pada waktu malamnya 12 hari bulan akan diadakan majlis santapan negeri di Dewan Undangan Negeri, majlis santapan, dan pada 13 hari bulan iaitu 1 hari selepas itu akan diadakan majlis jamuan teh yang akan diadakan di mana asnaf, anak-anak yatim dan sebagainya akan juga dijemput bersama, dan pada masa itu tuan yang terutama akan memberi sumbangan-sumbangannya. Ya, itulah lebih kurang antara acara-acara yang akan diadakan.
This marks the first official birthday celebration for Tun Dr. Wan Junaidi as Sarawak Governor, a role he assumed on January 26 for a 4-year term. Over 134 victims of the Kampong Hilir fire incident in Cebu on Sunday have been offered temporary housing at the Rantau Panjang flats in Cebu. Deputy Minister of Education, Innovation and Talent Development, Sarawak, Datuk Dr. Anwar Pai said the victims will also be given the option to find their own rental accommodation.
Kedua, jika mereka tidak mahu tinggal di Rantau Panjang, mereka perlu mencari rumah sewa. Okey. Tetapi jangka panjang, saya akan berbincang dengan pihak kerajaan untuk mereka ditawarkan tempat di Kemunyang. Sebab mereka ini pun memang di dalam dirancang yang tinggal di tepi sungai dahulu telah dinasihatkan untuk mendaftar jika mereka mahu tinggal di Kemunyang.
He said this when met by reporters during his visit to the temporary shelter at Surau Darul Mawa in Cebu on Monday. The Nangka assemblyman added that some of the affected families had previously been advised to register for housing in Kemunyang, as the priority would be given to victims affected by such disasters. Regarding cash donations, Anwar said all contributions should first be managed by the Penghulu before being transferred to the Cebu Division Disaster Management Committee Fund, SDMC, adding that no other individuals are authorized to collect donations for the victims. Similarly, he shared the emergency relief funds totaling 35,000 ringgit from the Nangka Service Centre, which will be distributed to all the fire victims. On Sunday, an evening fire razed over 15 houses in Kampong Hilir, rendering over 130 people homeless. The funeral of the late Corporal Petrus Lingi Lian, who was fatally shot by a hunter in Song, will be held this Friday. The matter was disclosed by 9th Infantry Brigade via its Facebook page. According to the post, the late Petrus was a member of the 3rd Royal Ranger Regiment who died due to a gunshot wound during training. The deceased was shot by a civilian who was believed to be hunting in the area where the deceased was undergoing training in Song early Monday morning. Sarawak Police Commissioner Dato' Mancha Atta confirmed that Song Police received a report regarding the incident at 5:57 a.m. The suspect, believed to be a civilian, is currently being pursued by the police, with the case classified under Section 302 of the Penal Code. Meanwhile, 9th Infantry Brigade Commander Brigadier General Ahmad Norzaini Badrun visited the family of the late Corporal Petrus Lingi Lian at the Armed Forces Family Housing at Oya on Monday night. During the visit, Ahmad extended his condolences and offered financial assistance to the deceased wife. Now, Petronas recently announced a total of 320 million ringgit in educational sponsorships for 600 outstanding 2023 Sijil Pelajar Malaysia SPM graduates from across Malaysia under the Empowering Knowledge Initiative. Petronas' Vice President and Chief Human Resource Officer, Ruslan Islahuddin, stated that students who demonstrate leadership qualities and active involvement in extracurricular activities tend to pursue lifelong learning, which aligns with the talents Petronas aims to nurture. Adding further, he said the 600 scholarship recipients were selected from nearly 6,000 applicants nationwide based on their academic excellence, leadership potential, and active participation in extracurricular activities.
They've gone through various processes, and I think we've selected the lucky 600 to go, 200 overseas, and 400 will be studying in Malaysia.
He made these remarks during the Petronas 2024 Education Sponsorship Award ceremony held at the Kuala Lumpur Convention Centre on 15 September 2024. Meanwhile, Sarawakian scholarship recipients also expressed their joy upon receiving sponsorships from Petronas and expressed their desire to contribute to the nation's development after completing their studies.
Saya berasa sangat bangga dan saya sangat berterima kasih kepada pihak Petronas, Petronas Powering Knowledge, kerana dengan peluang ini saya dapat melanjutkan pelajaran saya dengan lebih mudah dan ini sangat membantu mengurangkan beban keluarga saya, dan saya juga ingin berterima kasih kepada guru-guru saya di sekolah, kepada ibu bapa yang selalu membantu saya, yang memberi sokongan penuh kepada saya, yang sentiasa ada di waktu saya dalam kesusahan, yang selalu memberi saya sokongan ketika saya macam tiada harapan. Dan terima kasih sangat-sangat kepada pihak Petronas yang telah memilih saya menjadi salah seorang budak scholarship, and saya tidak akan menyia-nyiakan peluang ini dan akan buat yang terbaik dan menjadi seorang engineer yang bertauliah.
I feel this is a great opportunity for me that I got this, and I know there are not more people and not much people can get this opportunity, and I hope that I can be good in my studies so that I can help this country and work with Petronas.
Meanwhile, Ruslan added that these Petronas scholarship recipients will pursue their studies at renowned universities, both locally and abroad, including in the United States, United Kingdom, Australia, South Korea, and Japan. At the recent award ceremony, Petronas' chairman Tan Sri Muhammad Baki Saleh, together with Ruslan, symbolically presented the sponsorships to the recipients. The event was attended by over 1,000 guests, including students, stakeholders, and representatives from top local universities and colleges. The Empowering Knowledge Initiative reflects Petronas' 50-year commitment to fostering academic efforts among students and educators, ensuring they are equipped with the skills and education necessary to thrive in an increasingly dynamic world. Welcome back. Now, a collection of Malay medical manuscripts, also known as Kitab Tip, housed at the National Centre for Malay Manuscripts, National Library of Malaysia, has been nominated in UNESCO's Memory of the World programme last year. Unity Minister Dato' Aaron Agodagang said the nomination involved a series of manuscripts, MSS 1292, which includes traditional Malay medical methods, with the outcome of this nomination expected to be announced next year.
Semoga pencalonan ini membuahkan hasil dan manuskrip Melayu Kitab Tip akan dimasukkan dan dimartabatkan sebagai warisan dunia. Sama-sama kita doakan.
He said this in his speech read by the Secretary-General of the Ministry of National Unity, Dato' Sri Hasnul Zamzam Ahmad, at the opening of the 2024 International Conference and Exhibition of Malay Manuscripts on Tuesday. Aaron added that the Kitab Tip, also known as the Book of Medicine or Medical Manuscript, is a significant cultural heritage that reflects the richness of traditional Malay knowledge and medicine passed down through generations.
Kebanyakan kitab tip yang ditemui pada hari ini ditulis sekitar abad ke-19 dan 20. Penulisan ilmu tip Melayu tidak hanya berbentuk secara khusus, tetapi wujud juga dalam berbagai genre seperti sastra hikayat dan bidang ilmu ketatanegaraan seperti sejarah Melayu dan hukum kanun Melaka. Kitab tip bukan sahaja boleh ditemui di Malaysia, malah naskah ilmu perubatan tradisional ini turut terdapat di beberapa negara lain seperti di Leiden, Belanda, United Kingdom, Perancis, Indonesia, Sri Lanka dan beberapa negara Eropah yang lain.
For record, back in 2012, the National Heritage Department registered 2 books from the National Library's collection as intangible national heritage under the language and literary heritage category.
AFFIN Bank Berhad's shares rose by 2% today, gaining 6 cents to reach 3 ringgit 06 cent by 11:55 a.m. ahead of the Sarawak government's planned majority stake acquisition this Friday. The stock has surged since last Friday's closing price of 2 ringgit 87 cent, following the announcement by Sarawak Premier Dato' Patinggi Tan Sri Abang Johari Tonopeng that the state's takeover of AFFIN Bank would be finalised within a week. Currently holding 4.79%, Sarawak aims to increase its stake to 30%, becoming a major shareholder alongside existing stakeholder LTAT and Bank of East Asia. AFFIN Bank Berhad remains optimistic about Malaysia's economic outlook, forecasting GDP growth of 5.0% this year and 5.2% next year. This positive outlook comes despite concerns of a global recession, which the bank believes is unlikely.
Group Chief Economist Alan Tan highlighted Malaysia is set to benefit from stronger global developments. The IMF projects global growth at 3.2% in 2024 and 3.3% in 2025, aligning with Malaysia's growth prospects. Tan also addressed concerns about the U.S. unemployment rate, which rose slightly to 4.3% in July, but emphasized that it remains low compared to previous recessions. He added that global trade is gaining momentum, driven largely by emerging markets. Turning to the ringgit, Tan noted that the local currency could strengthen further, hovering around 4 ringgit 20 cent against the US dollar by the end of 2024, aided by recent interest rate cuts from the US Federal Reserve. On the investment front, Malaysia's approved investments soared to 329.5 billion ringgit last year, with a further 5% increase expected this year. Tan added that these investments will bring more positive developments for Malaysia and the ringgit.
Now in Para Sukma Sarawak Day 3 update. Sarawak is currently dominating the medal tally with a total of 85 medals, including 37 gold, 23 silver and 25 bronze. Sabah comes in second position with 55 medals, comprising 28 gold, 15 silver and 12 bronze. Trailing behind in third place, Selangor maintains its momentum with 47 medals, consisting 13 gold, 18 silver and 16 bronze. Catch all the 21st Para Sukma Sarawak's updates only on TVS.
At the Youth and Sports Complex. Driven by his younger brother Boni Bunyao's world record-breaking performance at the Paris Paralympics, Sarawak powerlifter Brian Junsi Gustin delivered his own outstanding performance at the 2024 Para Sukma on Tuesday. The 27-year-old Brian broke the national record with a 191-kilogram lift in a men's under 88-kilogram category to secure 2 gold medals. Despite narrowly missing a 201-kilogram lift, his performance erased the previous national and Para Sukma records. Brian expressed confidence after his second lift and credited Boni's achievements as his motivation. Meanwhile, national and Sarawak powerlifting coach Jamil Adam said that Brian has the potential to qualify for the LA 2028 Paralympics. With the Minister of Women, Childhood and Community Wellbeing Development Sarawak, Dato Sri Fatima Abdullah, said that the region intends to retain its status as the powerhouse of Malaysian powerlifting.
Singapore's former Minister S. Iswaran was convicted on Tuesday on charges of obstruction of justice and accepting illegal gifts. Iswaran, who once served as Singapore's Transport Minister, faced 35 charges, primarily related to graft in the nation, often cited as one of the world's least corrupt.
In a surprise move, prosecutors reduced the charges facing Iswaran to 5 from 35, while the remaining 30 charges will be taken into consideration for sentencing.
As you know, my lawyers have stated the position clearly, and as you're well aware, the matter is now sub judice. So it's not appropriate for me to say anything more, and I just want to thank all of you for coming, and let's see how it goes. Thank you.
Prosecutors are also seeking a combined prison sentence of 6 to 7 months, while the defense is arguing for a sentence of no more than 8 weeks. Local media reported he will be sentenced on October 3rd. Observers said the trial could have significant political ramifications for the city-state, potentially impacting the ruling People's Action Party PAP ahead of general elections expected next year. Iswaran resigned in January after being formally charged with accusations including the acceptance of gifts worth over 300,000 Singapore dollars or approximately 967,000 ringgit Malaysia. He has since repaid around 295,000 Singapore dollars to the government, and his gifts have been seized. The last corruption case involving a Singaporean minister was in 1986, when a minister was investigated for allegedly accepting bribes. However, he died before he could be charged in court. Singapore was among the world's top 5 least corrupt countries last year, according to Transparency International's Corruption Perception Index.
China has announced a series of bold measures to boost its struggling economy as the nation faces a prolonged property sector crisis, deflationary pressures, and rising youth unemployment. These stimulus measures mark some of the most significant economic interventions in years.
The world's second-largest economy has yet to achieve a highly anticipated post-pandemic recovery, and the government has set a goal of 5% growth in 2024. An objective analysts say is optimistic given the headwinds it is facing. At a press conference in Beijing, Central Bank Chief Pan Gongsheng outlined plans to cut various interest rates and reduce the reserve requirements ratio, injecting around $1 trillion or 588.77 billion ringgit into the financial system. This move is expected to enhance liquidity and support both consumption and investments across the country.
借助今天的新闻发布会，我宣布了下属几项政策。第一，降低存款准备金率和政策利率，并带动市场基准利率的下行。第二，降低存量房贷利率。并统一房贷的在地首付比例。第三，创设新的货币政策工具，支持股票市场的稳定发展。
Despite these measures, analysts are cautious. Julian Evans-Pritchard from Capital Economics described the stimulus package as the most significant since the early days of the pandemic, but warned it may still fall short without further substantial fiscal support. Nonetheless, shares in Hong Kong and Shanghai surged more than 4% following the announcement. However, experts like Karen Lim from Moody's Analytics remain skeptical, noting that while the moves were expected, they might not be enough to hit China's 5% growth target for 2024.
Lebanese Health Ministry announced that the death toll from Israeli airstrikes has climbed to 558, marking the deadliest day of the violence since Hezbollah and Israel went to war in 2006. Its minister, Firas Abiad, stated that the ministry's report directly disputes Israeli claims that their strikes targeted soldiers, emphasizing that the majority, if not all, of the victims in the bombardment were civilians who were killed in their homes.
بالحصيلة المحدثة لوزارة الصحة للاعتداءات اللي صارت وخاصة لاعتداءات امبارح. نحن لحديت هاللحظة هاي وزارة الصحة صارت مسجلة 558 شهيد، بينهم 50 طفل و94 امرأة.
Meanwhile, a total of 1,835 people have been wounded, with many receiving treatment in 54 hospitals, according to officials. Dr. Musa Yusuf, a physician in southern Lebanon, revealed that 90% of the injured are children, suffering from a range of injuries including burns and fractures.
مش ضربات عسكرية مثل ما عم يدعى. كل هالإصابات 90% منها أطفال، جروح، حروق، كسورة open fractures، شيء مخيف. وهذا إذا بدل على هاي الهمجية الموجودة. شو هذا كثير؟ أولاد، أطفال، نسوان. كله اللي مقطع اللي مكسور راسه واللي رايح منخاره واللي رايحه ايده.
Meanwhile, tens of thousands of residents from southern Lebanese towns and villages fled towards the capital Beirut as Israel launched its most intense barrage in nearly a year of cross-border clashes. The situation escalated further with air raid sirens sounding in the northern Israeli city of Haifa, adding to the growing tensions across the region.
Those were the updates on TVS Nightline. I'm Handy Gui. Thank you for watching. Have a good night.